Hey y'all, it's Julie, the nursing tutor. Let's talk about reconstitution, okay? First of all, if you open a vial that is a multi-dose vial and you're the one that reconstituted, a label must be placed on all multi-dose vials after reconstitution. The label must include the preparer's initials, comma, the date and time of the preparation, comma, and the date and time of expiration. You see all those commas? When you see that many commas, I want your butt puckering, thinking select all that apply. Not only in this, in every class, every textbook, when you see a bunch of commas in a sentence, butt puckering, preparing for select all that apply. If it's a bunch of bullets, select all that apply. You got to prepare for them. So that's a little you're welcome. Sometimes they have a mix-a vial where the powder's down here and the liquid or the solution to reconstitute it with is up there, and you push it down in there and it makes that, you see how they push it, take the lid off. Here's your little hickey-doo. Then you push the hickey-doo all the way down and it makes that little plunger go in and you can mix the medicine. Why do they do this? Because some medications aren't stable after a period of time. Some of them are short periods of time after they're reconstituted. So that's why you have to learn this stuff. And you have to become familiar with a label. So this is cefzolin, it's injection. You see, it's not oral, it's for injection. There's 1 gram in this vial, okay? And then you have to come to the little print. Sometimes it's sideways, but it's gonna tell you what you need to know. Preparation for solution. For IM use, add 2.5 milliliters of sterile water for injection and shake it well. The resulting solution provides an approximate volume of 3 milliliters. And then you see that right there, 330 milligrams per milliliter. You're looking for the per when you're figuring out reconstitution and what the strength is that you're gonna need to do the calculation with, okay? I believe you're picking up what I'm putting down. For IV, yada yada, it's probably insert. Anyway, I want you to see, you see it tells you right there, and look what else it tells you. It says discard unused solution 24 hours after reconstitution if stored at room temperature, or within 10 days of reconstitution if it's stored in the refrigerator. All right? So remember up here it said you got to put the date and time of expiration. It's going to tell you on the bottle what you need to put on there, and it's your job to put it on there, really. Because they can figure out who did it, gummit. All right. So the whole vial contains 1 gram. Okay? Okay, here we go. Usual usage is 250 milligrams to 1 gram every 6 to 8 hours. Look at this one right here. This is Zithromax. You see, it's for IV use only. So if she gives you a problem on the test and you have a bunch of these labels that you have to choose from, you got to pay attention to whether it's oral or whether it's in IV, and you need to pick the correct label. That's, that's wisdom. I just spit right in your face. Okay. And this whole thing is 500 milligrams. Look, it's even got the lot number and the expiration date of the powder right there. And then here are the directions. It says constitute with 100, all right. Well, once you do it, it's going to be constituted to 100 milligrams per milliliter. That's the per we're looking for. But what we got to put in, we got to put 4.8 milliliters of sterile water. You getting it? All right. But when we have to figure the dosage, we're using that per right there. Of course, you must dilute it before use, because how are you going to shoot a powder in the booty? Yeah. It's a shame they felt they had to say that. Okay. And so look, here's another one. This is Augmentin. And the strength when you get it will be, don't look at that, 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. And then look over here. Okay, this is oral. You see, that's oral. So if they're wanting you to give the oral suspension, this is the label you're going to use. But look at here. You got to store the powder in room temperature. And after mixing, refrigerate it and keep it tightly closed and use it all within 24 hours. Shake it well before you use it. Direction for mixing. Tap the bottom until all the powder flows freely. Approximately 1 teaspoonful or 5 milliliters of water. Add to it. Shake it vigorously. When reconstituted, each 5 milliliters will contain 125 milligrams of the smoking dope name of Augmentin. Okay? I know it's got part of that too, but we're going by the Augmentin, the 125 per 5 milligrams. And that'd be a little old tootie bottle like that. All right, so here we go. We have, I was looking for labels, and some of them, the copy's just horrible. Anyway, ampicillin, this is for IV use only, 500 milligrams. And this says add 1.7 milliliters of sterile water for a final concentration of 250 milligrams per milliliter. There's your per. It's stable for 1 hour. Do keep forward. I mean, don't get called off. So the physician orders ampicillin 500 milligrams. How many milliliters are required for this dose? Well, we're going to use, what he wants is 500 milligrams. What we have is the per, 250 milligrams per 1 ml. And then we're doing the math on our handy dandy calculator. 500 divided by 250 equals, times 1 equals 2 milliliters is what we would give. 2. And then look what they asked on this little sucker. If there is medication left in the vial after you prepare your dose, how should you label the vial? Your initials, the date and time. Date and time expires. Commas, yeah. That's a heads up. Okay, Kefzol, that's IV, 1,000 milligrams in this whole bottle. And we're supposed to add 2.5 milliliters of sterile water for a final concentration of there's my per. 300 milligrams per milliliter. It's stable for 24 hours at room temperature or for 7 days in the refrigerator. So if the physician ordered 165 milligrams IV Q8, how many milliliters are required for one dose? So what he wants is 165 milligrams. What I have is my per, 330 milligrams times 1 ml. And then we're going to, like a handy dandy soldier, 165 divided by 330 equals 0.5. We're going to give them 0.5 mLs of it. Look, boom. We sure enough saved them. All right. Okay, look at here. This is penicillin G. It's for IV. It's got 1 million units. Those zeros aren't freaking us out because we know to count our zeros when we put them in. What you got to do is you got to add 9.6 milliliters of sterile water for a final concentration of 1 million units per 10 mLs. It's stable for 48 hours at room temperature for 7 days in the refrigerator. So if Mr. Main ordered you to give 3,000 units, you see that? How many milliliters are required? He wants 300,000. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 per 10 mLs. Now, for those of you who are kind of more solid in math, you can take all these zeros off until you get to the next number that ain't zeros and do 3 over 10. But if that just threw you, then erase that from your memory. But you really can do that. You can take off the same number of zeros on each line. And what you're left with, you could do 3 divided by 10 equals times 10 mLs. And that's going to be 3 mLs is what we're going to give. Look, if I'd have kept them all, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, divided by 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, equals times 10, still 3. So look, we're going to give them 3 milliliters. Okay? Well, here's another one. Zithromax SIB, 1 gram. And this says add 9.8 milliliters of sterile water for a final concentration of 100 milligrams per milliliter. There's my per. Stable for 7 days in the refrigerator. Okay, so the doctor ordered 250 milligrams. So how many milliliters are required for the dose? So what he wants is 250 milligrams. What I've got is my per right here. 100 milligrams per 1 ml. And then get your handy dandy calculator. 250 divided by 100 equals, it's going to be 2.5 milliliters. Look, we saved them. Okay, look, tricky questions. We're going to get over the fear of these suckers right now. So this is penicillin G IV use, 5 million units. And then you have your choice of the concentration that you want to make that vial, depending on how much it is you got to give. You could put 20 milliliters in the bottle for a final concentration of 250,000 units per milliliter. If you put 20 milliliters. If you only put 10, it's going to be 500,000 units per milliliter. If you just put 5 milliliters, it's going to be 1 million units per milliliter. And it's stable for 48 hours at room temperature for 7 days in the refrigerator. Okay. Now he wants 1 million units. So I'm going to put the 5 million. Ideally, 5 milliliters, sorry. I would not want to put 20 milliliters in there because it's going to take 4 of these to make, it takes 4 quarters to make $1. You see that? And I'm not trying to shoot 4 milliliters in nobody's. Well, it's IV, but I'm not shooting 4 milliliters in their butt. I'm going to make it the concentration to where, I'd like to give less than a milliliter in a perfect world, but you and I both know that's not where we're at. Anyway, so what he wants is 1 million, 3, 1, 2, 3 units. What we have, if we do that, is going to be 1 million units per 1 ml. So How many milliliters of normal saline would you reconstitute the medication with? 5 milliliters. You see, that's where it is, 5 milliliters. Based on how you answered part A, how many milliliters are required for one dose? And look, you can see 1 million into 1 million is going to be 1, so it'd be 1 milliliter. And sure enough, did we save him? Okay? I mean, if you can read a recipe, you can do this. You can do it. Okay. Mandol, who knows? IV, 2 grams. That's how much the powder is in the vial. And then for final concentrations, we have options. 20 milliliters will make 100 milligrams per 1 milliliter. 4 makes 500 and 2 makes 1 gram. So the physician wants them to get 750 milligrams of it, BID. So, I mean, I'm going to go with the 2 so that I can give him less than 1 milliliter. You see that? So let's just do that. If he wants 750 milligrams and I have 1,000 milligrams per 1 ml, then I'm going to do the calculator. This top number divided by the bottom. That's what the fraction says. This up here divided by that down there. So 750 divided by 1 equals, so I would give equals 0.75 milliliters. Look, if we would have put 4 in there and it had been 500 milliliters, let me do that. If you had chosen a different one, can y'all still see that? Let me do it over here. He wants 750 milligrams. If we had done 4, the strength would be 500 milligrams per 1 ml. Look how much you'd have to give with that. Divided by, oh, dookie fault, sorry. 750 divided by 500 equals, I'm going to have to give 1.5 mLs. I don't want to do that. I just want to, you get what I'm saying? I believe you're picking up what I'm putting down. So, how many milliliters of normal saline would you use to reconstitute? I'd put 2. Based on how you answered it, how many milliliters are required for that dose? 0.75 milliliters. Lord, make it plain to him. He gonna help y'all. So here's a Keflex thing. Keflex, that's the trade name. It's got that little thing. Cephalexin is the generic name. It has ceph in it, and so it's a cephalosporin. Yeah. You're going to need to know that when you get to advanced pharm. And this thing, look, it's got 60 milliliters in the whole bottle once it's reconstituted. But the strength that I need to know how to work it is 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. So look, I turned that on the side so we could look at it. And it's not a great picture. It's even got the usual child's dose, 25 to 50 milligrams per kilogram a day in 4 divided doses. For more severe infections, the dose may be doubled. But you got to, pray about that. See the literature. So prior to mixing, you got to put it in the thing. Directions for mixing. That's what you're looking for. Add 36 milliliters of water in 2 portions to the dry mixture in the bottle and shake it well after each addition. So we're going to put 18 milliliters in, shake it, shake it, shake it. Put another 18 milliliters in, shake it, shake it, shake it. And then this says each 5 milliliters will then contain 125 milligrams. Now look, I know you're looking for the per. I call this a covert per because it's telling me that every 5 milliliters is going to have 125 milligrams in it. Okay? So, the doctor orders 1,800 milligrams of Keflex to be given in 4 divided doses. The child weighs 66 pounds. So look, right out the gate, you know we got to convert that weight. So 66 divided by 2.2. 66 divided by 2.2 equals 30. Thank God it's a whole number. Equals 30 kilograms. Okay. So is this a safe dose? We need to read this because it says the safe dose is between 25 to 50 milligrams per 1 kilogram. We got 30 of them. So we got to multiply 30 times 25, 30 times 50. And what he ordered, and this is a per day thing. You see that? The amount we get here is going to be for 24 hours. And what he ordered needs to be between these two numbers. I hope that's clear. So 30 times 25, if you're not in peds, you will be, times 50, 1,500. So the safe dose range per kilogram of weight is between 750 and 1,500. Homer, look what he did. He must have killed his kid, 1,800. So, I mean, is it safe? No. Are you giving it? No. I'll call him. He can come up here and give it, but I have a license to protect. So, good luck with that. No, I'm sorry I say that all the time. Okay, I don't know how to say this word. Pfizer pen, it's penicillin and potassium. It's injection. And there's 20 million units in this whole sucker right here. And it said, what is the total number of units contained in the vial? 20 million units. That's the total number. Okay? And then well, dookie fart. I thought I turned it sideways, but let's turn you sideways. So you got to come over here and be familiar with this. Read the company, blah, blah, blah. Usual doses is 6 to 40 million units daily by intravenous solution only. So if you, and here's the, you can make it whatever strength you want. You can have 1 million units per milliliter, 500,000, 250,000, depending on how much you put in there. What does it say over here? Recommended storage. Okay. It don't say nothing. Here we go. So, if you add 33 milliliters of diluent to the vial, what dose strength will you print on the label? Let's see. If we added 33 milliliters, we would put 500,000 units per milliliter on the label. See, look, date prepared, your name, and then you need to let them know. You're going to circle which one of these you did, actually. Okay, so look, if 2 million units IV is ordered, which dose strength would be appropriate to use? They want 2 million. I'm gonna get that stuff thick as I can. And I would do 1 million units per milliliter, which would be 11.5 milliliters. I hope this is making sense. How many milliliters will you administer? How long will the medicine potent keep in the refrigerator? Dookie fart. I'm adding 11.5 milliliters. I'm trying to hurry because my grandbaby's coming. We're going to play. So 11.5 mLs. What he wants them to get, Dookie Fart, look, don't expect perfection from me and you'll be good. He wants them to get 2 million units. You see that? I'm concentrating it to 1 million units. 1 million units per 1 ml. And then, I mean, we could, you know it's going to be 2 divided by 1 equals 2. We're going to give them 2 mLs of it. And I'm not sure where the answers went, but you're going to have to trust me. Here's another one. Okay, I do have the answer. So this is that Pfizer pen again. This one has 5 million units in it. It's for injection only. And so we have the same options over here. The average single intramuscular injection is between 200,000 and 400,000 units. And so you can reconstitute it. What happened? I don't even know. How much you want them to get? 200,000? You could do it to where it was 1 milliliter. Well, that's 250,000. Yes, okay. I mean, you could do it real thick, but on this problem, we end up using 18.2 milliliters to reconstitute a strength of 250,000 units. That's what we have on hand. He wants them to get 200,000 units. 200,000 units. Look, if I'm frustrating you, you can swipe left and good luck, okay? 25,000 units is what I have in my strength per 1 ml. And so look, I'm going to do the math. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 divided by 250, 1, 2, 3 equals 0.8 milliliters is what I would give him. And look, we saved them. Okay? Now, I know y'all may have some of these kind of problems. I think I'm going to end the video here in a second. But, so you got a patient who had a craniotomy and he has C-chlor suspension, 250 milligrams 4 times a day. What should be used as the diluent? It tells you back here, directions for mixing. Add 90 milliliters water. So water is what needs to be used. That's the diluent. How many milliliters of diluent should be used? And it said 90 of them. Okay. How many milligrams are in the bottle? Okay. Once it's reconstituted, it's going to be total of 150 milliliters. That always kind of threw me because I'm only putting 90 in, but the medication powder will swell and increase how many milliliters it is. So if we know that it's 125 milligrams per 5 milliliters once we reconstitute it, and we know that there are 150 milliliters, I want to know how many 5s are in that. Hang on, it's going to make sense. 150 are total divided by 5. There is 30 sets of 5 in 150. So one set of 5 is 125 milligrams, so I'm going to multiply that times 30. 125, and that's going to be 3,750 milligrams, or 3.75 grams, you know, depending on how they want it. So be sure and pay attention. How many milligrams are in the bottle? How many milliliters will you administer? This is convoluted. But I know that each 5 milliliters is going to be 125. So what I have on hand is 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. I done forgot what the dude said he wanted. All right. He wants 250 milligrams. And I have 125. So here we go. What he wants divided by what I've got. 250 divided by 125 equals, we're not done though. What's right here? 5. We got to multiply that times 5. And that's going to be 10 milliliters. I got the answer. We're going to give them 10 milliliters. Well then, this old nosy butt wants to know how many doses are in the bottle. All right? If one dose is 10 milliliters, and it says it's going to have 150 in there, I'm going to divide 10 into 150. It's 10 milliliters is the dose. 150 divided by 10. There are 15 sets of 10, so there is 15 doses in that bottle. Lord, don't let me just have done a Jedi mind trick on them. 15 doses in the bottle. Okay? I'm going to do one more. That penicillin G. There are 1 million units in this whole thing. I didn't do that. And you see, depending on how you reconstitute it, you could have 100,000, 200,000, or 500,000. It's going to depend what he's ordering. So let's see. How much diluted? Okay, so Homer wants Mr. Man to receive 500,000 units. So, good. That's going to be 1.6 milliliters of diluent. That would be the answer for the first one. How much diluent should be added? 1.5. What is the medication concentration once we do that? It's going to be 500,000 units per milliliter when we add 1.6 milliliters. Help him, God. He gonna help y'all. Okay. That's the medication concentration, 500,000 per milliliter. How many milliliters will you administer? So what he wants is 500,000. Safe and effective care. They love that in the NCLEX world. What he wants is 500,000 units. And what we reconstituted it to was 500,000 units per 1 ml. And then that divided by that's going to be 1, so we would give him 1 milliliter of medicine. You see that? Okay. I hope this helped y'all. If you want some more of these, type more in the bottom. I hope I didn't just scramble your eggs in your brain. But read the label. It's going to tell you everything you need. Okay? Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy Sunday.